Welcome to Bible Talk Insight. We're exploring the Bible and insights from Bible scholars to inspire, educate, and, well, hopefully draw you closer to Jesus.
And today we're looking at a really striking encounter. Just 3 verses in Joshua chapter 5, but wow, they pack a punch.
They really do. It's right before the Battle of Jericho, this face-to-face meeting between Joshua and a mysterious figure, the captain of the Lord's army.
A figure with a drawn sword, no less. It fundamentally sets the stage for the entire conquest of Canaan.
Okay, so our aim today is to unpack this moment. Why this encounter? Why right then? And what does it tell us about God's way of working? Let's start our daily study with reel 1. So picture this. Israel has finally crossed the Jordan River. They're in the Promised Land, but it's enemy territory.
Deeply enemy territory. And right in front of them looms Jericho, this massive fortified city. You'd expect military preparations, right? Scouting, planning.
But that's not what happens first. Instead, they perform mass circumcision, and then they celebrate the Passover. Seems like strange timing, militarily speaking.
It seems counterintuitive, yeah. Maximum vulnerability, you could argue, but it's deliberate. The Passover, especially, is a powerful reminder.
Of Egypt and the Exodus.
Exactly. It recalls God's direct intervention, the ransom he provided. It draws this sharp line: we are God's people, distinct from the nations around us, saved by his hand.
So it's like they're grounding themselves spiritually before the physical battle.
Precisely. They're reminding themselves, and maybe declaring to the powers unseen, that their trust isn't in their own strength. It echoes what God told them at the Red Sea.
Oh, right. Fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of Jehovah.
Jehovah will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. It's a foundational principle for them. God had already shown himself as a true warrior.
Exodus 15.3, Yahweh is a warrior, Yahweh is his name.
That's the one. So the context is spiritually charged. They've just consecrated themselves.
And it's then, while Joshua is near Jericho, maybe surveying the city walls alone, that this figure appears suddenly, holding a drawn sword.
Yeah, not exactly a friendly welcome wagon. A drawn sword means business, imminent conflict or command.
Talk about intense. Joshua, the leader, face-to-face with an unknown armed figure right on the edge of his first major battle. Sure. What happens next is fascinating. If this insight helps you, why not share this reel? And remember, you can find the full conversation in our main Bible Talk Insight episode. Welcome to Bible Talk Insight as we continue our daily study with reel 2. Okay, so Joshua sees this imposing figure with a sword drawn. In a war zone, what's the first thing you need to know?
Whose side are you on? It's instinctive, isn't it? Survival depends on it.
Absolutely. So Joshua doesn't waste time with pleasantries. He gets right to the point. Are you for us or for our adversaries?
It's such a human question. He sees the world in binary terms right then. It's Israel versus Canaan, us versus them. Pick a side.
He's thinking tactically, nationally, which is understandable. He's the military commander.
He is. And he's demanding allegiance from this.
Yeah.
Well, this clearly powerful being. Bible scholars often point out the supernatural feel of this appearance. This isn't just another soldier wandering about.
Right. Described as the commander or captain of the Lord's army, that title alone is significant.
Hugely significant. And the timing right before Jericho's fall underlines something critical. This campaign isn't going to succeed based on Joshua's military genius or Israel's strength.
It's being established right here before the first stone is thrown, so to speak.
Exactly. Joshua, in that moment, is essentially asking this divine commander to fall in line with his plans, to join his side.
Which seems logical from his perspective. He needs allies' resources.
But the presence of this commander, with his drawn sword, signals that the whole dynamic is about to be flipped on its head. The question isn't who's joining Joshua.
It's about who Joshua is joining.
The commander's answer is stunning and changes everything. We'll unpack that tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe to Bible Talk Insight so you don't miss it.
Welcome to Bible Talk Insight as we continue our daily study with Reel 3. So Joshua asks the crucial question: are you for us or for our adversaries, friend or foe?
And the answer he gets is, well, it's a refusal to fit into Joshua's categories. The commander says, no.
Just no.
Well, no, but as captain of the host of the Lord am I now come? He rejects the premise of the question.
He's not saying he's neutral then.
Not at all. He's saying, I don't operate within your us versus them framework. I am the authority here. I command the Lord's army. It's an assertion of supreme command.
Wow, okay, so the ground just shifted under Joshua's feet, didn't it?
Completely. The commander isn't taking sides in Joshua's war. He is the side. The real question instantly becomes, is Joshua on God's side? Is Israel aligned with his mission?
So it's not about God supporting Joshua's plans, but about Joshua submitting to God's plan.
Exactly. God determines the strategy, the means, the timing. He is the warrior leading this campaign. Israel's success, starting with Jericho, depends entirely on recognizing God's initiative and leadership.
It puts loyalty in a different light, too. It's not about finding someone who agrees with your national interests or your personal goals.
Right. True loyalty, true alignment is rooted in God's character, his purposes, his mission, not our convenience or predetermined agendas. The commander is basically saying, your perspective is too small, Joshua.
This shift in perspective is so crucial. What does it mean to be on God's side today? Join the conversation on the Bible Talk Insight Facebook page for daily encouragement and insights like this. Welcome to Bible Talk Insight as we continue our daily study with Reel 4. So the commander refuses Joshua's us versus them question and declares his supreme authority. How does Joshua react to this?
His reaction is immediate and, frankly, perfect. He gets it instantly.
He doesn't argue, doesn't ask for clarification.
Nope. The text says he fell on his face to the earth and did worship. Total submission. He recognizes he's in the presence of the divine.
That's quite a shift from the demanding military commander just moments before.
It is. And then he asks the right question. What saith my Lord unto his servant? He completely yields his authority and asks for orders.
From commander to servant in a heartbeat.
And this is presented as the model, the necessary step. Victory doesn't start with fighting or strategy sessions. It starts right here, with worship, with adoration, with recognizing who's really in charge.
It's a moment of consecration, isn't it? Putting aside his own plans, his pride, maybe even his fear.
Absolutely. He sets aside his military ego, his human planning, and essentially says, okay, Lord, your mission, your way, tell me what to do. He's aligning himself completely with God's purpose.
This illustrates such a vital spiritual principle, doesn't it? Before we can effectively do anything for God, we need that moment of surrender to God.
Adoration first, then obedience. Recognizing his authority, then asking for instructions. Joshua nails it here. This kind of surrender is powerful. Don't just listen if this speaks to you. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it today.
Welcome to Bible Talk Insight as we continue our daily study with Reel 5. Okay, so Joshua has submitted. He's fallen on his face, worshipped, and asked for instructions. What does the commander tell him to do?
The very first command is fascinating. He says, take off your sandal from your foot, for the place where you stand is holy.
Take off your sandal. That sounds familiar. Very familiar.
It should. It's almost word for word identical to the command God gave Moses decades earlier.
At the burning bush, Exodus chapter 3.
Exactly. When God first called Moses to lead Israel out of Egypt, this is not a coincidence. It's like a divine signature.
So this command confirms the identity of the commander.
It strongly implies it, yes. By using the same sacred instruction given to Moses, the founder of the nation, this being identifies himself with Yahweh, the God of the Exodus, the I Am. It connects Joshua's mission directly back to Moses.
So the ground isn't holy because of some ancient shrine or temple there?
No, it's holy simply because he is present. The divine warrior, the captain of the Lord's army, standing there, makes the ground sacred.
And taking off the sandal itself, what did that signify? More than just respect.
Oh, yeah. In that culture, sandals could represent ownership, authority, your personal claim to stand on that ground. Taking them off was an act of deep humility, acknowledging you're on someone else's holy ground. It's relinquishing your rights, your status.
So it's the final symbolic act of Joshua's complete submission. He's acknowledging God's total ownership and authority over the land, the mission, everything.
Precisely. It seals his surrender and acknowledges the sacred nature of the task ahead. This isn't just a military campaign. It's a holy war, directed by God himself.
Welcome to Bible Talk Insight. As we conclude our daily study this week with Reel 6, we've seen this powerful encounter, the mysterious figure, the challenging question, the divine refusal, Joshua's submission, and the command echoing Moses. It leads to the ultimate question. Who is this captain of the Lord's army?
That's the big one, and Bible scholars have explored it deeply. Some see this figure as a powerful angel, perhaps the angel of the Lord who often represented God's presence in the Old Testament.
Oh, okay, acting as God's representative.
Right, but many others, and this view has gained a lot of traction, interpret this as a Christophany.
Meaning an appearance of Christ before his incarnation, before Bethlehem.
Exactly, a pre-incarnate appearance of Jesus Christ. Several things point that way.
Like what?
Well, crucially, this figure accepts worship from Joshua. Angels in the Bible typically refuse worship, directing it only to God.
Ah, that's a key distinction.
And giving the command about holy ground, echoing the I am statement to Moses, suggests divinity, not just a created messenger. It points towards the divine being himself stepping onto the battlefield.
If this is Christ, the implications for Joshua's mission and for us are huge. It frames the battle for Jericho differently.
Absolutely. It connects this specific conflict in Canaan to the much larger ongoing cosmic conflict described throughout the Bible. You see hints in places like Isaiah 14, Ezekiel 28, and Revelation.
The war that began with rebellion in heaven.
Yes, the conflict between God and rebel forces, led by the one who sought to exalt his throne above God's. The commander of the Lord's army, viewed as Christ, is the one who leads the fight against these powers of darkness.
The one who ultimately conquered on the cross and whose victory is assured.
Right. His appearance to Joshua shows that God is always in conflict with rebellion, and true victory comes only under his leadership, not human might or strategy.
So, bringing it home for us, this ancient story isn't just history.
Not at all. That same conflict between good and evil, between God's authority and rebellion, plays out in our own lives, doesn't it? Daily. In our choices, our thoughts, our priorities.
And the question remains the same. Are we trying to get God on our side to bless our plans?
Or are we consciously, deliberately choosing to be on his side? That requires constantly checking our loyalty, submitting our will, and letting the divine warrior lead.
Knowing that he promises help and grace for whatever Jericho we face. Sure. So, the core lesson from Joshua's encounter seems clear. Total submission to God's authority is the first step to victory. It's about recognizing who's really in charge.
It changes everything.
If this discussion inspired you today, please share this reel with a friend. We really encourage you to subscribe to the Bible Talk Insight podcast for our main episodes, and you can always join us on Facebook for daily encouragement.
And remember, for deeper dives, check out our bonus and supplemental episodes too.
May the captain of the Lord's armies bless your week.